Hello, everybody. A wonderful day to you. Today we talk about gridding, where and how and why to put crystals in my home. Before we get into that kind of thing, we would like to understand a few things about forms. And there's different ways of using crystals in a gridding. And in general, every crystal has an aura, has an energy field. So that would be one way of creating a different energetics in my house. I put crystals, for example, zeolites, into my house. I either put it in the corner of my room or in, according to my intuition, 2, 3 different places in the house. And the zeolite will clean the air of energetic pollutants. Now, if I would put a programmed crystal on top or close to this zeolite and program it to amplify the strengths of the or the properties of the zeolite, it would be a little bit more beneficial. Now, every mineral placed anywhere has an energetic field, so we can make use of that, like in the example of a zeolite. Now, forms. We know that pyramids are collecting energy and then bringing it out at the top of the apex or out of the apex. And quartz crystals, which are perfect for gridding, have the property of amplifying energy and bringing a beam or creating a beam, an energetic outpouring out of the tip of this crystal. If I have a double terminated crystal, it goes in both ways. Now, if I would make a sphere, the energetic field of the crystal goes spherical. And depending on the crystal and depending on the power, so to speak, it can extend for quite a bit. So if I want to put a protection around my house or a room where I sleep to start with, around my bed where I sleep, I put crystals pointing outwards with their apex outwards to the house, from the house or from my bed in 4 corners, and thus create an energetic field which, according to the program of the crystal, protects us or makes us more aware. In that case, we want to put the points inside. So, or now if we have a sphere, I can put it in the center of my room or even just on my altar, close to my bed, or in my living room, or in the office, wherever I feel like it, wherever my intuition tells me, I will put the sphere into the room, program it for whatever reason I want to have that protection or awareness or whatnot. And this energetic field will go out spherical. Now, these 2 ways of gridding is really basic and from the understanding out how energy works. Now, there's very complicated ways of gridding. When I want to make a space for my meditation, I use specific crystals. That again, first the quartz and other minerals depending on what I want to achieve. For example, I want to be more creative. I want to get out of my habits. I will put a cavensite in the grid. If I want to love myself a little bit more, I put a rose quartz into the grid. So depending on what I want, I can arrange crystals around me if I want to meditate, or even just on my mandir, on my little temple space, which I have beside my bed, for example, and program the crystals to emanate this kind of energetic field which I want or where I need help with. Now, there's many books and gridding layouts available. I never really worked with these because I go with the most beneficial way of gridding, and that is my intuition. So I do have an enormous amount of crystals, and then suddenly, this crystal needs to be in this part of the room, or in this part of the garden, or wherever. And then another one. So I have crystals all over my place, which do that. They share their gifts. Yeah, I have an apophyllite, which makes me more available for finer energies and more available to listen to my spirit guides. I have cavensite, so I get out of my old habits. I have quartz crystals all over the place. So that kind of gridding for me is more beneficial because nothing is really static. Even my meditation, I will have to change crystals in my meditation room. Nothing is static, so I will have to go with my intuition, and then suddenly I put the cavensite and the apophyllite, I put them away, and nothing is there for a little while. Or I have changed them for other crystals. So I mainly go with my intuition. And yeah, yeah, that is what I would have to say about crystal gridding and use of crystals. I hope that is informative and it gives you some insight of how to do this. And I would strongly suggest just play around and see how it feels if you put crystals in a certain way, which goes with your intuition, into your house or into the room, and note, how do you feel? Is there a difference? There's no difference. Okay, I change it a little bit. Oh, now I feel a difference. So in the end, crystals are also a tool for becoming more aware. And I will next week talk about the relationship between crystals, traditions, our ancestors, tribes, what they know about energetics and growth, inner work. Why do I sometimes speak about only inner work? I will tell you that next week. I hope this was beneficial and wish you a wonderful life. Till next week.